And we welcome you to beautiful Langhorst Field on the campus of Elmhurst College. It is Blue Jay football. This afternoon, the Blue Jays will entertain the Olivet College Comets out of Michigan. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Kruger. Delighted to have you logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Both teams with season opening losses a week ago. Elmhurst dropped its opening game of this 2017 season last week right here at Langhorst Field, falling to Loris 41-9. Meanwhile, Olivet dropped its season opening contest 40-24 in a road loss last week at Heidelberg University. So both teams looking for their first wins of the season. Olivet won the coin toss, elected to defer, so the Blue Jays will get the ball first. Jawan Gaines is the deep man back for the Blue Jays. Ideal weather conditions for the second week in a row, 70 degrees and sunny. Bit of a breeze, though, this week out of the east, about 8 to 10 miles an hour, so that could be a factor. The Blue Jays in the sky blue pants with the navy blue jerseys and the sky blue numbers, navy blue helmets. The visiting Comets of Olivet College, the traveling white helmets, white jerseys, white pants with the red numbers. Olivet, Michigan, located in south central Michigan, about 30 miles southwest of Lansing, and about 125 miles west of Detroit. Private liberal arts college. Ninth meeting between these two teams in the overall series. Elmhurst holds a 7-1 advantage. Last year, Olivet College won for the first time up in Michigan. We'll talk more about that ball game as this one unfolds. So we are about ready to go here as Olivet teeing it up here. It's going to be Douglas Pollard, sophomore, to boot it away, and we are underway. This one goes way deep into the end zone. Gaines, watch it, goes over his head. It'll be a touchback. So out for the Blue Jays, Orlando Hernandez, the 5'10 junior quarterback, returns at the quarterback position for the Blue Jays. The featured back, Ben Holloway, a 5'11 junior. Tight end, Matt Brockman. The wideouts, Jacob Memeshur, Austin McKellar. We'll see Jawan Gaines in there as well. Up front, Pat Walsh is the left tackle. Jeremy Allen, the starting left guard last week, he got injured, so it's Cameron Donaldson, the freshman. Garrett Underwood at center, and on the right side, David Michaels and Zach Dixon, the offensive line for the Blue Jays. First play of scrimmage, it's Ben Holloway, the ball carrier. And he'll get about a yard to the 26-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 9. We'll set the defense for you for the Comets. Up front, it's a pretty big line. Robert Cuba, 6 foot, 290-pound senior. Brandon Mitchell, also 6 foot, 280. He's the nose tackle. Grant Shepard is a 6'5", 250-pound sophomore. We'll get to the rest of the defense after this second down and 9 play call from Hernandez. 2 wideouts here. Play action. Hernandez has time. Now the pocket collapses and he goes down back at the 21. It's going to be a loss of 5. Starting linebacking core for the Comets as you take another look at it here. Hernandez had some time, but the pocket collapsed. Mo Young, Chase Kavrick, Brian Freiberger, and Raphael Cornish are all juniors at the linebacking spot. John Adams III is a freshman corner. Jaquan Short starts at corner. Walter Love III and Javon Walker are the 2 safeties. The starting defensive unit for the Comets. 3rd down and 13 for Hernandez, and Hernandez comes up and he'll get tackled from behind by Robert Cuba. And so the Blue Jays do not convert on third down. Last week against Loris, they were 3 of 14 on third down conversions. So 3 and out, and the punting unit, Matteo Casanova, come in to punt it away.
Gain of 5 on that.
So the opening drive stalls after that pickup of 5 by Hernandez to the 27.
Bryce Johnson back deep for Olivet. Casanova to kick it away.
Johnson is back deep for the Comets. And a whistle.
Delay game. Offense number 80. 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty on that delay of game. You heard from referee Mike Cunningham. The umpire is Jim McHugh. The head linesman is Pete Bobber. The line judge, Tim Lucas. Side judge is Mike Lenny. The field judge, Tom Wedrick. And the back judge is Sam Banks. Your officiating crew for this afternoon's non-conference game. High punt by Casanova. Blue Jays are getting a side bounce, and so it will be downed by Tristan Bolus. And so out comes Lane Porter, 6'5", 250-pound junior quarterback. Really good size. He replaces Braden Black, who was the starting quarterback last year. Jerome Washington is the featured back for the Comets. Tight end Trent Monroe, the 3 wide receivers Jacob Jodway, Tom White, and Cornelius Saxon. Up front, left tackle Jared Bush, the left guard Dan Weber, Jacob Stuller is the center, and on the right side, 2 seniors, Mitchell Jorgensen and Matt Rowan. This is Washington, and Washington gets stopped at the 30-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 yards and a first down here for the Comets. Jerome Washington is a 6', 230-pound senior, so good size in the backfield here for the Comets. Washington with a 16-yard pickup on his first carry of the game. Washington again as he barrels his way straight ahead for about 4 yards on the play, takes it to the 26. It'll bring up 2nd and 4. Check that, 2nd and 6 for the Comets.
Gain of 3 on the
Talked about the Comets' loss last week, 40-24. They actually led on 3 different occasions in the opening half, but Heidelberg outscoring Olivet 20-3 in the second quarter. Washington again, and he'll get a first down as the Comets are in the red zone on the opening drive. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20. It was 33-17 at the half last week between the Comets and Heidelberg. And
Richards was there on the tackle.
Heidelberg went on to win 40-24. Porter in that game last week was 16 of 32 passing. His first pass attempt here is an incomplete. The slant pattern intended for Cornelius Saxton was incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. He was 16 of 32 for 283 yards and a touchdown. Set the defensive unit for the Blue Jays up front. Sean Kelly, John Rubino, Romaine Richards. Richards had a big game last week, 11 tackles against the Dewhawks. The linebackers, Brandon Dominski, Tyler Hossman, Mike Dickin, Joe Nixon, Tristan Bolus, Victor Agabor, the 2 corners. Angel Bruciaga and Jamari Wise are the safeties. Porter is going to go out of bounds, and he will
out of bounds by Little.
Get marked out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So he picked up 2. Opening drive for the Comets.
On the play.
And so this is going to result now in a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 8 for the Comets. Lane Porter surveying the Blue Jay defense, goes under center. The motion man is Tom White coming here to the near side. They hand it off.
Martin, the ball carrier.
And Martin is the ball carrier, but he's not going to get much. Jamal Martin is a 5'9" sophomore out of Inkster, Michigan.
Loss of 2 on the play.
Take another look at it here. Good pursuit, a loss of 2 on the play. And it was Mike Dicken, number 15, the senior linebacker, wrapped him up from his jersey. So it's 4th down and 10, and this will be a 37-yard field goal attempt. Doug Pollard with the wind. Wind coming out of the east about 8 to 10 miles an hour. So Pollard will have the wind to his back. Plenty of distance, and it is good.
That shouldn't be good. It was after the 0.
37-yard field goal by Pollard. And that makes it 3-0 in favor of the Comets with 9:36 left to play in the first quarter. So the Blue Jays will get their second opportunity here. First opening drive, 3 and out. Comets opening drive resulting in a 37-yard field goal by Douglas Pollard. So 3-0 in favor of the Comets. Jawan Gaines is the deep man for the Blue Jays. Averages over 20 yards per kickoff last week against Loris. So we'll see if he can get his hands on the ball. Remember, Olivet kicking with the wind. 10 miles an hour, so Pollard tees it up at the 35-yard line. His last kick, the opening kickoff of the game, went way deep into the end zone, and it looks like that's where the second kickoff is headed as well. Almost the exact same spot as Gaines lets it go, and it will be another touchback. So the Blue Jays will start 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Second possession of the game. We thank you so much for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. Week number 2, Blue Jays and the Comets of Olivet College. 9:36 left to play here in the opening quarter. Just a gorgeous sun-drenched afternoon here in beautiful Elmhurst College. So Orlando Hernandez going back to work here for the Blue Jays. 2 wide receivers to either side here, working out of the gun. Comets showing blitz and a bad snap. Holloway just kind of has to dive forward. It's going to be a loss of 3 back to the 22. So it's going to be 2nd down and
Hall with the tackle for Olivet.
13.
Loss of 3 on the play.
2nd down, 13 for the Blue Jays from their own 22-yard line. Holloway now flanked to Hernandez's right. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your monitor. Hernandez looking that way. Pass is complete. Oh, now it's dropped.
Intended for McKellar.
In and out of the hands of Austin McKellar. 5'10" sophomore. One of those situations, you take another look at it here. I think Austin was kind of looking upfield before he brought that one into his hands. Jaquan Short was there defensively, the junior corner for Olivet. Jaquan Short getting the start because Colton Swiss, season-ending surgery on his forearm. He was the free safety starter last week, and so they had to shuffle their secondary around. Hernandez dumps it underneath, pass complete, right at the 30-yard line, caught by Ben Holloway, but it's going to be 5 yards short of the first down. And so the Blue Jays now 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, and they're going to punt it away. Matteo Casanova standing at his own 16-yard line.
Johnson back deep.
Wind has died down. Oh, a beautiful punt by Casanova, and it's going to be fair caught.
Fair catch at the 28-yard
Back at the
line.
28-yard line by Bryce Johnson. And so it's the Comets' second offensive possession. Lane Porter and the Comets.
Officials today, referee Mike Cunningham, umpire Jim McHugh, headline.
Boy, we saw a huge offensive line last week with the Dewhawks. The Comets, pretty big line as well. Matt Rowan, the right tackle, 6'3", 295. The right guard, Mitchell Jorgensen, 6'3", 305. Bush is 285, Weber 270, and the center Stuller is 270. So a big offensive line for the Comets. That's screen to Cornelius Saxton, and Saxton with a nice run after the catch will get to the 35. Pickup of 7, so second down, 3 yards to go for the Comets. Blue Jays will open up conference play next week when they travel to Chicago to take on the Vikings of North Park. CCIW action next week. Here's Washington, the ball carrier, and he will dive to the 40-yard line, pick up a first down for the Comets. And Tyler Hassman, the senior linebacker, staying down on his knees, not getting up. So hopefully he is up on his own power and walking up. Series began back in 2006. Elmhurst won that game 36-13. As a matter of fact, Elmhurst won the first 7 games, 2006, 2007, 2008, 9, 10, and 11. And then there was a 2-year break. These two teams did not play in 2012 or 2013. Series got reunited in 2014. Elmhurst winning that 33-27. And as I mentioned, last year, 2016, Olivet wins its first game against the Blue Jays 27-13 up in Michigan. Porter under center. Hands off to Washington, and maybe a yard as he gets to the 41-yard line. It'll bring up second down, 9 yards to go. Good job by the Blue Jay defense. Brandon Dominski, the junior linebacker, came up to make the stop. Ran that play nicely, did the Blue Jay defense. Comets on the board first. Field goal on its first offensive possession. Second down, 9 yards to go here for Porter and the Comets. Washington, the ball carrier, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's actually going to lose a couple yards on that play. Angel Burciaga, the safety, came up to make the stop. I think he was the guy that had the initial stop. So it's going to bring up third down now and 11 for the Comets. They have to get to midfield to pick up the first. See how the Blue Jays play it defensively as Porter steps back and works out of the gun. 2 wide receivers to either side here for the Comets. Porter drops, now he steps up, he's got some room to the 45, and he slides short of the first down. He's going to be about 4 yards short. They're going to spot him down at the 46. So good job defensively for the Blue Jays, and the Comets are going to have to punt for the first time here this afternoon. We believe, yeah, the punting unit coming in.
Jawan Gaines going back deep for the Blue Jays.
Jawan Gaines is back deep. Gunnar Aper, senior kicker,
Gunnar Aper to kick it away.
will punt it away. Aper gets off a decent punt. Gaines lets it bounce, and it's going to take a Comets roll. Oh, and it's going to be down, yes, at the 1 yard line. Wow.
That punt at the 1 yard line.
Great special teams play, the kicking unit. You see the trail in there. Good call by the official. It did not get into the end zone. Down at the 1. So the Blue Jays, tough opening possession here.
Also follow Elmhurst Athletics via
Gonna have to start 1st and 10 from their own 1. Trailing 3-0 here this afternoon. Blue Jays, as we mentioned, dropping their season opener last week, 41-9. And the Blue Jays on their season opening games, as this one taken by Hernandez, and gives the Blue Jays some breathing room as he crosses the 5 to the 6-yard line. Since 2000 now, the Blue Jays are 14-4 in their season opening games. Overall, the Blue Jays are now 43-51-4 on their season openers as they try to rebound from that loss last week here at Langhorse Field to the Dewhawks of Loras College. Trailing by 3 here. 2nd down, 5 yards to go for Hernandez. 4:23 to go here in the opening quarter. Hand it off. Holloway dives to the 8. Pickup of about 3. It'll bring up 3rd down and a couple here. So the Blue Jays trying to convert 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions so far today. They were 3 of 14 on 3rd down conversions a week ago. Austin McKellar coming into the game.
Gain of 2 on the play.
So 3rd down coming up. Call it 3. Need to get to the 11-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the bottom. Hernandez instead looks the other way. Throw is a bit high, and what's the call? It was bobbled, and they're going to say it was an incomplete pass. See if we can take another look at it here. Hernandez, there the ball goes up and back. Boy, Jacob Mamashur, it almost looked like he caught his own bobble there, but they're calling it an incomplete pass. And so now the Blue Jays going to have to punt out of their own end zone. Johnson is the deep man, but that went off the side of Casanova's foot, and the Comets are going to get excellent field position here. 3:19 left to go. We'll see where they spot it. Right at the, looks like the 21-yard line. Boy, oh boy. So the Comets winning the field position game so far here early on. They're going to have it 1st and 10 from the Blue Jay 21. Lane Porter as Trent Monroe going in motion to the far side. They hand it off to Washington. Washington cuts it back, and he'll get tripped up at the 15-yard line by Tyler Hossman, the senior linebacker. Hossman with 42 tackles a season ago comes up to make the stop. It'll be 2nd down and 5 here for the Comets. Check that, 2nd and 4. He picked up 6. Right at the 15-yard line. So they need to get to the 11 to pick up the 1st. Again, it's Monroe going in motion. Handing it off. This is Jerome Washington, and he is met by a couple of Blue Jay defenders. No gain on the play. Take another look at it here. The Blue Jay line stout on that play. May have actually lost a yard on the play. So to bring up 3rd down and 5. Boy, the Blue Jays would love to hold them here and limit them to a field goal attempt. Again, the Comets are working with about a 10 mile an hour wind at their back here. Porter, 3rd and 5. The little screen to Washington. Jerome has some blocking ahead, and it looks like he will pick up the first down. It's spotted at the 10. They needed to get to the 11, so it's 1st and goal for the Comets. Boy, Jerome Washington, he is a beast. 6 foot, 230 pounder. Huge arms on him. Tough man to pull down, and it's 1st and goal here for the Comets. Quick first quarter, 1:38 left. 8 seconds on the play clock. Porter handing it off. Washington still on his feet. Brings it down to, call it the, spotted at the 8. Gain of 2, 2nd and goal. 1:10 remaining in the quarter.
Gain of 2 on that play.
It is a 2-yard pickup by Jerome. So it's 2nd and goal, Comets from the 8. Out of the eye, Washington is the lone back. They are going to play action. They fake it to Washington. The screen is complete, but a great hit coming up. Let's take another look at it here. Nice play action coming out, and wow, huge hit that time. The intended receiver that time out of the backfield was Andre Houston.
That was Wise with the coverage for the Blue Jays.
Jamari Wise came up, the freshman, and made the huge hit. So it's 3rd down and goal from the 8. Porter working out of the gun and quickly calls a timeout.
Timeout taken by Olivet.
So the Comets call a timeout here. Did not like what they had out on the field. First timeout, they've got 2 remaining. Should mention other games today from CCIW teams. Milliken is at Rose-Hulman. Wheaton up in Michigan taking on Kalamazoo. North Park is at Midland. Nebraska Wesleyan taking on Illinois Wesleyan. Bethel is at Carthage up in beautiful Kenosha. And Augustana is at Central. Those are all your CCIW teams games this afternoon. We mentioned next week, Elmhurst, the CCIW conference opener, will be at North Park. Next week, Carthage will be at Wheaton. Illinois Wesleyan will be at Benedetti Worley Stadium in Naperville to take on North Central. And Augustana will be at Carroll next week as CCIW action gets underway. Carthage, Illinois Wesleyan, Milliken, North Central, North Park, and Wheaton all winning last week in their respective season openers. All right, after the timeout here, 2 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. 3rd and 8 for Porter out of the gun. Porter looking, steps up, and he will get tackled. Pretty much a coverage sack that time for the Blue Jays. Good defense. Nobody was open in the end zone. Porter stepped up and got tackled back at the line of scrimmage. Final seconds winding down here. So this will be a 25-yard field goal attempt here by Douglas Pollard. Hit one earlier in the quarter. So give some credit to the Blue Jay defense here, making a nice stand. That Pollard, boy, that ball looked, it is good. It came off awful strange off his foot, but Pollard connects on the 25-yard field goal to end the opening quarter as you take another look at it. So we'll switch sides here. The Blue Jays will be going with the wind here in the second quarter, but a couple of Doug Pollard field goals, and the Comets lead 6-0 at the end of the opening quarter. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Mark Kruger along with our crew, Glenn Liljeberg and Phil Petrusik. Beautiful Langhorst Field is the site for this Week 2 matchup. 2 home games to start the season for the Blue Jays before they go on the road next week against North Park in their CCIW Conference opener. The game last year between these two teams, both defenses played awful well. Olivet finished with just 259 yards of offense, averaging just 3.4 yards per play. Meanwhile, Elmhurst just 243 yards of offense, 4.2 yards per play average last year up in Michigan. So again, the Blue Jays will be going with the wind here to open up second quarter action. And Jawan Gaines trying to find a handle on the football. Oh my, and he will get buried back about the 2. And the Blue Jays have not had good field position here so far in this game. Remember, on the punt, the Comets downed it back at the 1. And now Gaines gets tackled at the 2.
To start 1st and 10 from their 3-yard line.
Check it, officially the 3-yard line. So out comes Orlando Hernandez. Last time when they were at their own 1, it was Hernandez straight up the middle to get some breathing room. He picked up about 5 or 6 yards. See what they do here. 1st and 10, Blue Jays from their own 3. Holloway gets the call.
Holloway, the ball carrier.
And boy, he may have gotten tackled at the 2, may have lost a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11. First quarter numbers, boy, Olivet with 4 first downs. Elmhurst yet to pick up a first down in this game. Total yards of offense in the first quarter, Olivet 58, Elmhurst just 14. 2nd and call it 12 for the Blue Jays. Again, it's Holloway straight up the middle.
Holloway, the ball carrier.
May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. It was a Mo Young, junior linebacker, number 1, among others. It'll bring up 3rd and long here again for the Blue Jays. Boy, again, field position has been the story here in this game. Blue Jays simply have not had it. Of course, last week, 3 turnovers in the first half. Did not help the Blue Jays in their loss against Loris. So 3rd down and 12 for Hernandez and the Blue Jays. Hernandez out of the gun, midway into the end zone. A little out pattern.
Complete far side.
Pass is complete at about the 10.
Caught by Mauser.
But it's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down marker. And so again, 3 and out for the Blue Jays.
Casanova to kick it away.
Matteo Casanova. It's been a busy season so far for Casanova. Gets off a really good punt, again with the wind. The Comets from their own 47 and returning it to the 46 of the Blue Jays is number 83, Bryce Johnson. Take another look at it. Johnson from his own 47, bit of a stiff arm there, and gets tackled there by number 98, Blake Bailey. So for the Comets, 1st and 10 from the Blue Jay. They're actually going to spot it at the 45-yard line. So the Blue Jays Had a pretty good stop last series defensively. See what the Blue Jays can do here. Opening moments of the second quarter, I should say. Porter standing right at midfield. Is going to throw deep. He's got Jacob Jodway, and it's going to be a touchdown. 45-yard touchdown pass from Lane Porter to Jacob Jodway, a 6'1" junior wideout, and it's a touchdown for the Comets. Boy, that was a beautifully thrown ball by Lane Porter. Here's another look at it here. He faked it to Washington, and Porter threw it on the dime to Jodway.
Pollard to attempt the extra point.
And it'll be Douglas Pollard coming in for the extra point. Good snap and the hold, and the extra point by Pollard is good to make it 13-0 in favor of the visiting Comets. Here's another look at it here. Pretty good fake to Washington, and you see that single coverage there. Vic Agabor was the Agabor, I should say, the 5'10" senior corner, had the coverage on Jodway, but it was just a well-thrown ball by Porter. So for the second week in a row here, the Blue Jays are going to have to come from behind. 12:29 left to play here in this first half. Langhorst Field, the site of this week 2 battle. Both teams are looking for their first win of the season.
Jawan Gaines back deep for the Blue Jays.
Jawan Gaines is the deep man for the Blue Jays. He's standing at his own
Douglas
7.
Pollard to kick it away for the Comets.
Doug Pollard will kick it away here for Olivet.
Pollard's kick in the air.
Pollard with a good kick. It's Gaines coming up from his own 12. Across the 20, 25, 30. Gaines here to the near side, cutting it up. And a beautiful return as he brings it back to the 45-yard line. So a nice return by Jawan Gaines, and the Blue Jays will have their best field position of the game. 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Here's another look at it by Gaines up the middle, and now he cuts it to the outside, showing the speed, and he runs out of bounds at the 45-yard line. So it's Hernandez and the Blue Jay offense trying to get on track here. Trailing 13-0. A touchdown and 2 field goals by the Comets in this first half. Hernandez working out of the gun. He's going to keep it himself straight to the right. Cuts up and gets tackled by Mo Young at the 49-yard line. And it will be a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6. Holloway had a pretty nice block. So a 4-yard run by Hernandez. I think Orlando is going to have to come up with some more of those type of runs. 2nd and 6. We've got a whistle, and I think the Comets are going to burn their second timeout here. We'll see what the whistle is all about. It is indeed a timeout against Olivet. The defense seemed a little bit confused. Not sure they had the right personnel out there, so the Comets burned their second timeout. They've got 1 remaining. The Blue Jays have all 3 of their timeouts left. Tough first quarter again for the Blue Jays. They had to punt 3 times. Hernandez in the first quarter just 1 of 3 passing for 8 yards. Holloway had the lone reception. Jerome Washington was the workhorse in that opening quarter for the Comets. 9 carries for 40 yards. Lane Porter was 2 of 4 passing for 13 yards. a 37-yard field goal and a 25-yard field goal by Douglas Pollard, the two scores in that first quarter. Big touchdown pass in the second quarter from Porter to Jacob Jodway, and that makes it 13-0. So after the Comets timeout, Hernandez is the ball carrier. He'll pick up about two. Chase Kavrick, the 5'11 junior linebacker, came up to make the tackle after a 2-yard pickup. So the Blue Jays in Comets territory. That's the good news. The bad news is 3rd down and 4. Haven't converted on a 3rd down today. Need to get to the 45-yard line of Olivet. Big 3rd down here. Perhaps a 2-down territory, we'll see. Brockman, the tight end, going in motion, the pass is complete to Brockman, and they will pick up a 1st down.
First down for the Blue Jays.
Well executed play there by the Blue Jays as Brockman, 6'2", 233-pounder. The big tight end pulls it in and gives the Blue Jays the 1st down. The ball is spotted at the 43-yard line of the Comets. First and 10, Blue Jays. 3 wide receivers to the near side, and we've got a penalty marker down. False start against the Blue Jays. We'll push them back 5. Bring them back to the 48-yard line of the Comets. Haven't seen too many penalties from either team so far here this afternoon. Hassan Austin is split out here to the bottom of your screen. 1st down and 15 now. Brockman is the motion man again for the Blue Jays. Hernandez is going to throw, and it's going to be picked off. It was tipped, and it's picked off by number 26 for Olivet. That's Kyle Nearing, junior defensive back, with the interception. So a tipped ball into the hands of Kyle Nearing, and the Blue Jays turn the ball over. So after the Blue Jays pick up the 1st down, it looked like the offense was perhaps starting to click a little bit. A deflected pass and a pick, and the Comets now 1st and 10 with exactly 10 minutes to go from the Blue Jay 47-yard line. Boy, oh boy, those turnovers just can kill you. Porter's going to hand off to Washington. Washington will go nowhere. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that will do it. Maybe a yard. Sean Kelly was there, number 56, to make the tackle.
Rubino gets credit for the tackle.
John Rubino was there, the nose guard as well. 2nd down and call it 9. They spotted at the 46. Blue Jays need to dig in again defensively, see if they can get a turnover here. Porter working out of the gun. 2nd and 9. Steps up, has time, over the middle, and incomplete. He was looking for Cornelius Saxton. But really good coverage by the Blue Jays secondary, and it will bring up 3rd down and 9. Take a look at beautiful Elmhurst Field. Just a gorgeous afternoon. 3rd down and 9 yards to go here for Porter and the Comets. 3 wide receivers to the top for Olivet. Jacob Jodway is the lone wide receiver to the near side. That's where he looks. Jodway, and this one is picked off. Victor Ogabor, still on his feet across the 40, 45. Ogabor gets buried at the 46. So the Blue Jays and a flag. 2 flags are out. So it's going to be a pick by Victor Ogabor, post-possession penalties. I'm not sure if it's one foul or there may be two separate fouls here. Great pick, great athletic effort by Victor.
That penalty will be declined. After the play, dead ball. Personal foul, number 40 of Elmhurst. That play will be assessed 15 yards from the end of the run. Down.
So they waive off the penalty and the personal foul against Joe Nixon of Elmhurst. So the personal foul will bring them back 15, but it still will be Blue Jay football here. So they get a pick as the Comets create their first turnover of the game. The Blue Jays will get the ball back. 9:05 left to play here in the first half. A great athletic catch and an interception by Victor Ogabor, the 5'10 senior corner, to give the Blue Jays the ball back, and the officials are trying to sort it out as to where the ball is going to be spotted. See Mike Cunningham, the referee.
Timeout on the field.
Officials timeout. Should be, I would think, 15 yards back from where he had the pick. That one official who's holding the football is standing at the 32, and there is a man down for the Blue Jays. Boy, that's Jamari Wise, and he's coming off the field. That's the reason for the delay. So they're going to work on Jamari. Hopefully he will be okay as the Blue Jay offensive unit trotting back out onto the field. So the Blue Jays will get the ball here at their own 31.
Elmhurst to start first and 10 at their 31-yard line.
First and 10, just over 9 minutes to go here. Orlando Hernandez is working out of the gun. Two wide receivers to the bottom here for the Blue Jays. Hernandez will hand the ball off, and Holloway will get about 2 yards. He'll get to the 33.
Schaefer there for Olivet.
Schaefer was there to make the tackle.
No gain on the play.
No gain, right back to the line of scrimmage as you took another look at it there. Jamie Schaefer, a 6'1", 275-pound sophomore, making the tackle. So 2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays. Hassan Austin split out to the bottom of your screen. Lower right part of your screen. Hernandez drops. Looking for Austin, but he was well covered by Javon Walker.
For Austin.
And so it will bring up 3rd down and 10. Take another look at it here. You see Austin working on Walker. Well overthrown, pretty good coverage by Walker. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 now for the Blue Jays. Trying to get on the board here. 8:19 left to play. Again, the Blue Jays going with the wind. The Comets capitalized going with the wind in the first quarter with a couple of field goals. Hernandez out of the gun, looking to the far side this time, and that one is going to be picked off at the 39. Second interception of the game for the Comets, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Blue Jay 39-yard line. Boy, another tough turnover for the Blue Jays. 2nd turnover of the game. Again, turnovers was the key last week. Remember, the Blue Jays had 3 first-half turnovers last week against Loris, and 2 turnovers so far here in the first half for Elmhurst. So Lane Porter in the offense of Olivet. back out there. 8:13 left to play. Comets leading 13-0. Porter fakes it to Washington, pass, and a wide open Cornelius Saxton. Boy, there had to be some type of confusion in the Blue Jays secondary, and Saxton goes into the end zone for a touchdown. 39-yard touchdown pass from Porter to Cornelius Saxton. Here's another look at it here. Saxton wide open at the 20, and he stiff arms a would-be tackler and skips into the end zone for the Comets
to attempt the extra point
to make it 19-0. Pollard in now for the extra point. Thomas White will hold for the Comets, and the extra point is good. And check that, it's no good. Off to the right, so the score remains 19-0 in favor of the Comets. Take another look at it here as the pass. Porter hitting Saxton, and you see the nice stiff arm there, and he stays inbounds and scampers into the end zone. 39-yard touchdown pass from Porter to Cornelius Saxton. Extra point no good. Comets lead now 19-0. As they took advantage of the turnover. So the kickoff receiving team out onto the field for the Blue Jays. 8:02 remaining here in the first half. 19-0 in favor of the visiting Comets. Olivet looking for, well, its second win of this series. Again, they won for the first time last year up at Olivet, 27-13. And once again, for the second week in a row, the Blue Jay offense just cannot get going. Whether it be bad field position or the turnovers, Blue Jays just do not have a lot of minutes off offensive possession. That's something to look at halftime. As Gaines tries to get around the corner, he does not, makes a little hesitation and steps out of bounds. So the Blue Jays will get it. 1st and 10 with just under 8 minutes to go here in this second quarter. See the tail end of that, Jawan Gaines going out of bounds. And it looks like they are going to spot it right at the 25. Back to the 24, actually. First and 10, Blue Jays from their own 24. And you saw the injured Blue Jay a couple moments ago, the starting safety, Jamari Wise, who's only a freshman. Hopefully he will be okay. Jeremy Allen, the starting left guard, was injured last week, so Cameron Donaldson, only a freshman, got the start at left guard today. Hernandez working out of the gun. Holloway going nowhere. Boy, he was met initially.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
As soon as he got the ball from Hernandez, he was hit.
Cuba with the tackle.
Take another look at it here. Robert Cuba, 6-foot senior defensive end, making the tackle almost the exact same moment that Holloway received the ball from Hernandez. Back to the 22-yard line, so 2nd and 13 after that 3-yard loss. Hernandez out of the gun. Hernandez is going to keep it himself as he faked it to Holloway. And maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. Jalen Rogers, number 93. Boy, he's a big one as well. 6'2", 65. Was there to make the tackle there at the end. Again, 3rd down and 11. 6:40 left to play here in this first half. Blue Jays trying to avoid going out 3 and out again. 2 wide receivers to the top this time. Hernandez rolls that way, throws, and pass complete to Brockman, the tight end, and he gets the first down. A nice run after the catch to the 37. Boy, they need to get Brockman involved in this offense a little more. 6'2" junior tight end gives the Blue Jays the first down, and again, a nice play. We saw that in the first quarter, hitting Brockman.
Brockman knocked out by
First and 10, Blue Jays from their own 37.
The Blue Jays.
Boy, if they could drive down and punch it in here at the end of the half, this would be big. 3 wide receivers now to the bottom. First and 10, Hernandez and the Blue Jays from the 37. Hernandez, little screen up top to Hassan Austin. And Austin will bring it up to the 39, a gain of a couple. Second down and call it 8.
Hassan Austin with the catch. Gain of 2 on that reception.
Austin, he's a freshman as well, 5'10", 160-pounder. He comes split out here to the lower right-hand part of your screen. Single coverage, Jaquan Short on him. Second down and 8 for Hernandez. Hernandez will hand it off. It's Holloway, the ball carrier, breaks the initial tackle and gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
For the Comets.
Pickup of 3. Here's another look at it here. Met right there at the line, broke that tackle and ended up picking up 3 yards on the play. Mo Young, the linebacker, among others for the Comets, was there in on the stop. So another third down situation here for the Blue Jays. 3rd and 5 from the 41. There goes Brockman in motion. Now he comes back here to the near side. Pressure up the middle. They dump it out to Holloway. Holloway's going to have the first down inside Comets territory. Still breaks a couple of tackles all the way to the 32-yard line. Well, they blitzed. There was pressure right up the middle. Hernandez did a great job of getting rid of that ball. And once Holloway got the screen here, he had some good room, some good blocking ahead. Cuts it back nicely into the middle. And it's 1st and 10, Blue Jays from the 32. Under 4 minutes to go here in this first half. The Blue Jays again going with the wind, and they do have all 3 of their timeouts left. 1st and 10 from the 32. Hernandez hands it off to Holloway. And Ben gets inside the 30 to the 29. Pickup of 3.
Along with Hall for Olivet.
Raphael Cornish was there to make the tackle. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 after that 3-yard gain by Holloway.
On that run.
Hassan Austin down to the bottom of your screen. Brockman is the motion man. 2nd down and 7. Hernandez drops, looking deep across the middle. And that one is incomplete, but there is a penalty marker.
Right on the play.
Looks like it's going to be defensive pass interference, and the Blue Jays should be in business. They should have it 1st and goal.
Holding. Defense number 9. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic.
So it's not pass interference. They're going to call holding against John Adams III. John Adams III had a great game last week, but he's going to get called. It's actually going to be spotted at the 19. So it's going to be 1st and 10, Blue Jays from the 19. So they hit the red zone here. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Five seconds on the play clock, and Hernandez does get it off.
Penalty flag.
And there is a penalty marker down.
Ivers, the ball carrier.
Ivers is the ball carrier, but this one will be coming back. Chris Ivers, a 5'8" senior
with the tackle.
Out of Crystal Lake South High School.
Illegal motion, number 13 in the offense. 5-yard penalty for clearing the spot. Replay first down.
So Jacob Mamashur, illegal motion, 5 yards, brings it back to the 24. 2:50 and counting here in this first half. If you've just logged on to BlueJayTV.com, it's been all Comets so far here in this first half. Olivet leads it 19-0, but the Blue Jays are driving here late in the first half. 1st and 15 for Hernandez. They need to get down to the 9 to pick up a first. Rolling out this way is Hernandez, throws it off his back foot. Brockman, the intended receiver, well overthrown. Javon Walker was there defensively. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 15 for Hernandez. Threw that ball a little bit off balance. Tough to roll to his left and throw. To throw across his body. Tough play to make. Brockman was open, but he overthrew him. 2:22 left to play here in this first half. And I believe the Blue Jays, indeed, the Blue Jays are going to call their first timeout. They'll have 2 more here. 2:22 left. They'll face a 2nd down and 15 situation. Well, we are here in September, and the Blue Jays, they've had some pretty good success in the month of September. As a matter of fact, over the past 15 seasons, the Blue Jays are 39-10 in the month of September. As a matter of fact, they won 28 straight in September until a 2011 loss to the University of Chicago. So they're hoping that they can come from behind and win. Head coach, by the way, for the Comets is Dan Muselowitz. Coach Moose spent the last 5 seasons as the Comets offensive coordinator and recruiting coordinator before he took over the head duties in January of this year. Spent 6 seasons as the wide receivers coach at Trine University in Indiana. Of course, the head coach for the Blue Jays is Ron Plans in his 4th season as the head coach. All right, after the timeout, 2nd and 15, and it's incomplete. Matt Brockman tried the one-handed grab, but it went off his right hand. Incomplete, and now it's going to bring up 3rd down. Here's another look at it here. That play was successful back in the first quarter, I should say, when they picked up a 1st down. But that went off the fingertips of Matt. And so now it's going to bring up 3rd down and 15. If they don't gain any more yardage here, you'd be looking at about a 40-yard field goal attempt. Blue Jays want 6, though. Hernandez on 3rd and 15, and the pocket collapses. And the sack by Raphael Cornish.
Cornish with the tackle.
Man, they came with the blitz, and Cornish will get credit for the sack. So a penalty and a sack, and now the ball is back at the 31. Decision time for Ron Plans. What will the Blue Jays do? And they are going to apparently go for it here. 4th down and about 23. Gaines going in motion. Now comes back. 3rd down and 31. Hernandez steps up. He'll have some room as he's inside the 20 to the 15, 10, 5, and he is in. Now they're going to spot him down at the 2. What a run by Hernandez. Take another look at it here. Nobody open. He steps up and all kinds of room. Straight up the middle, breaks that tackle, and he gets brought down at the 2. 29-yard run that time by Orlando Hernandez, and it's 1st and goal for the Blue Jays. A huge play in this game. 1 minute remaining here in the half. Hernandez going under center. Play clock is down to 2-1. They just do get it off. Holloway looking to cut it in, and he will not get there. He's going to be short to the 1. 40 seconds to go. Remember, the Blue Jays do have 2 timeouts left. Not going to take a timeout here. 30 seconds remaining in the half. 2nd and goal. Hernandez straight up the middle. He'll take it himself, and he will get in. Touchdown. So a well-earned touchdown run by quarterback Orlando Hernandez. Take another look at it here. Just goes straight up the middle. Power run into the end zone. And the Blue Jays are on the board. Bailey extra point attempt is good. So a big play, a big touchdown score by the Blue Jays to end near the end of the first half. It is now 19-7 favor of the visiting Comets. Yet another look at the touchdown run by Orlando. Of course, that was set up by that beautiful 29-yard run that brought him all the way down to the 2. 23 seconds remaining. The Comets, no timeouts left for them. So Bailey will be kicking with the wind. Remember, Olivet won the toss and elected to defer to start the game. So the Comets will get the ball back to start the 3rd quarter. But there's still 23 seconds to play here in the first half. Boy, that was just a huge touchdown for the Blue Jays. Much needed one to get back into this game.
Bailey's kick in the air.
That one is from the goal line.
Banak on the return.
And the Comets return it. That's Brandon Banak, a sophomore. He's a pretty good return man for the Comets. He averages over 20 yards per return last year. And he had a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown last week, and that lost to Heidelberg. He brings it back to the 23-yard line. So both teams with dangerous return man. Jawan Gaines of Elmhurst, and you just saw Brandon Banak return it for the Comets. 1st and 10 Comets. Again, 23 seconds,
winding it down here now.
Handing it off, this is Jerome Washington.
Washington, the ball carrier.
And Washington stays in bounds, will get tackled at the 35.
Near the 35-yard
and that
line.
should do it. Well, now it stops as he does pick up the first down. They'll stop the clock while they move the chains as he gets tackled at the 35. And they'll start the clock, and that will do it. We have reached halftime here at Langhorst Field. The visiting Comets of Olivet College scoring the first 19 points of this game. The Blue Jays, though, with a touchdown at the end of the second quarter. They go into the locker room trailing the Comets by a score of 19-7. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com. We are at halftime. We'll come back in about 20 minutes or so for the start of the 3rd quarter. We'll see you then again.
Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
I'm close to everything.
I need a great school at a great price.
I'm learning about myself and my role in the world.
I love a challenge.
I'm dreaming big,
But feel totally at home. I want an education with meaning.
I want to be a champion for others. I made connections for life.
I'm ready for the real world. Why do I go to Elmhurst College?
To reach my full potential.
Coming here as a Division III player, you're coming here to get your degree. We have some players that go on to be professional athletes. They've gone overseas, but that's not the norm. Our players are coming, they're finishing their playing careers here. And so whenever they're done, they're being prepared in something else other than just basketball. So for us, that's the student-athlete model. You come in, you're working hard. Our players put in as much time as a Division I player does, but it's because they want to be there. I know that from motivating our players, if they're coming to practice, I know that they're working hard because it's out of them, not just because we've got a dollar sign, they have to do it, this is how they have to stay in school. They don't have to be there. They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player, and there's something that's special about that experience to me, coaching that player.
Elmhurst College is much more than buildings, courses, and credits. It's a supportive community of individuals who are committed to helping you reach your full potential. But don't take my word for it.
I visited a lot of schools, but when I came here, it was just like, I'm home.
As soon as I walked on campus, I felt like I could dive right in and get involved.
Getting involved is easy, especially in class. The average class here has just 17 students.
Every faculty and staff here just wants me to succeed.
I can go up to them and it's not just office hours. Like, I'm here from 10:30 to 11:30. It's actually like, whenever you need help, my door's open.
There's a real connection that takes place. I'm frequently asked, what do I teach? I never say music. I teach people. Music's the vehicle.
It was great to see that rather than just teaching textbook material, they're actually giving you some industry insight.
I'm a vocalist. I'm out in the clubs performing. I'm touring in Europe and performing. So they see how their life can transition into that.
A lot of my friends from other universities, they don't get to be a part of undergraduate research, professional development at such an early stage.
They're truly there to help you and to build you and to make sure that you are amazing.
And at Elmhurst, you can be amazing all around, including on the field. Football is just one of 20 Division III sports.
We went straight to the Final Four of the nation, and that was a great way to come in and start off the season.
They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player.
Wrestling wasn't my life. I was able to go out and do a lot of different activities and get involved on campus.
We are allowed to be students and we can be involved in a lot of other things.
How do you want to get involved? You'll have your choice at Elmhurst.
Our campus has over 100 clubs and organizations.
Whatever you want to do, there's something here for you to do. Concert choir, the wind ensemble, gospel choir.
Habitat for Humanity, Global Poverty Club.
I'm an orientation student leader, SGA, Best Buddies.
Greek life at Elmhurst College is really focused on leadership and discovering who you really are.
To be part of all these different organizations and get to know all these amazing people is why I love Elmhurst.
You can also get to know the world beyond the campus. Elmhurst offers study abroad opportunities in 44 countries.
I studied abroad in Granada,
Holland, Germany,
El Salvador, Israel and Palestine, Costa Rica,
Czech Republic.
Back at home, you'll enjoy all the advantages of our great location. Downtown Elmhurst is just a short walk from campus, and the Metro train will take you to the world-class city of Chicago in just 30 minutes. When it comes to career preparation, we've got you covered. Elmhurst will connect you with the people and the experiences you need to reach your full potential.
Elmhurst allows you to grow into the knowing, and I appreciate that there's a journey that we encourage. It's not just in one program or one department, it's threaded throughout everything that we do.
Elmhurst College pushes you to truly find who you are as a person and as a professional.
They will make sure no matter what your interests are, what your career path is, that there's going to be a resource on campus that is going to help you find that potential and then reach it.
If I had to say why Elmhurst would be the best option for nursing education, I would say because you don't have to be big to be the best. We have all of the student services, we have all the educational services, the excellent curriculum and faculty, so we're not big, but we are the best. We have a state-of-the-art simulation center, and I have seen many sim centers across the nation, and this one is truly, truly remarkable.
The professors there encourage us to make mistakes because it is simulation and they want us to learn from our mistakes.
Going to the sim lab that's actually in Elmhurst Memorial Hospital, it's really, really cool. The facility is amazing, it's brand new.
What the simulation center consists of are mannequins, but these aren't just mannequins like you've seen before where you do CPR. Our mannequins talk to you. Our mannequins birth babies. Our mannequins cry. If you don't do what you need to do as a nurse to our mannequins, they will die. So what we do is actually simulate experiences in real life that you will see as a nurse, and you get to make mistakes without hurting people.
At any school you can learn the skills, but I feel like at Elmhurst, the faculty and staff are encouraging us to do more.
They're always passionate about what they do, and I think that's very important. One of my professors said, you don't just want to be a good nurse, you want to be the best nurse.
We do have many partners in the community at Elmhurst College, and basically we have to. We rely on our community partners to provide that clinical education piece. So while we are there with our students, side by side, teaching them, we couldn't do it if we didn't have the clinical partners. I think our faculty are our gems here. When you come to Elmhurst for nursing education, you will receive your education from clinical specialists. You can be good as a clinician, but that doesn't make you a good educator. We need excellent educators to be able to translate that theory into practice for our nursing student.
I got on the floor, and after a few weeks working with my clinical instructor and working with my classmates and collaborating, it really has provided me with a safe space to, talk to my instructor, talk to my other peers, and really work together to build my confidence and competency as a future nurse.
I feel like they are preparing me well, and I have no doubt that in a short year and a half that I'll be ready to go out into the world and be a nurse helping patients.
Our students are working everywhere. We have students working in schools, hospitals, and in community health settings. So our students are really everywhere. We don't just teach, we change lives.
I love when people ask me, okay, what can I do now that I'm here?
I'm in the honors program,
Being a part of Union Board,
Best Buddies,
Student Government,
Debate Club,
Relay for Life,
the Research Keystone program,
Greek Life,
Tri Beta,
Juggling Club,
Student Ambassadors.
Once you get here, there are plenty of things going on. Serving the community is such a huge part of being an Elmhurst College student.
Center for Professional Excellence has a whole department and team ready to help you get involved with community service.
I think one of my favorite ones would have to be when I joined Golden Crew. The organization itself focuses on pediatric cancer. We had like a whole scavenger hunt for them, and I dressed up as Batman and kind of helped lead them through the entire experience. And it was kind of really like a humbling thing.
Being able to plan homecoming the last 4 years, it was really honestly one of the best experiences I've had here.
I don't think I would have been this social or this confident if I wasn't part of the 10,000 things that I get the opportunity to be a part of every day.
The connections that you make on this campus, both in your academic classes as well as the different service organizations or just activities you get involved in, give you the opportunity to really get out there. Making those connections isn't something that's superficial. It's something that you get here as an experience. It's something that is going to carry on for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you're coming here to get a degree, but your 4 years in college aren't just defined by that. It's by all the things that you're involved in, and the people that you meet, and the way that you meet those people is by getting involved.
Definitely being on the cross-country and track team, that has been really great. The athletic community as a whole is really inclusive and inviting, and then having that team, it's really family-oriented. We usually have 20 girls on the team, and we're all brought together by our love for running, and our coach is really instrumental in that. But you get to know each other so well through practices, and you're going through all these really hard workouts together. So you're putting everything you've got out there, and you're all supporting each other. You get to know each other on a really like personal level that you might not otherwise just by meeting these girls in class. So you get to know about their families and their classes and their goals for the season, and you really support each other. The Division III athlete is kind of the perfect balance of student athlete too. You still get your sport and it's highly competitive, and we compete just as much as the D1 athletes do, but then we are allowed to be students and we can be involved in a lot of other things. I know a lot of the girls on my team and myself are involved in a lot of other clubs and organizations, and I feel like at a D1 school you kind of are limited. You can only be on your sports team and then study too for your classes. So we kind of get the best of both worlds with that.
Originally, it was a breath of fresh air. I'm alone. What am I gonna do? What could I possibly do? What's ahead for me? And once I got on campus, I just excelled. I utilized all my resources coming here. It was a program called Direct Connect, which was a minority program to get students situated with the campus 2 weeks before school started. So I actually lived on campus 2 weeks before. I went to seminars, which actually helped us get acquainted to the long campus hours. The teachers that were in the seminars were actually going to be our teachers that were on campus. So we have something here called the first year seminar, which not only is supposed to promote growth within the freshmen, but also serve as a guidance or a type of direction for their first time here. And they were ecstatic. They helped me, they gravitated towards me, and I actually use them as a stepping stone even now in senior year. Growing up, I did not have that type of support. In high school, you think you can stay after class, but what will other students think? I think once I got here, it was more so what do I want? Just having a drive, a motivation to go forth and actually reach out for help or ask for help.
There's always a new experience right around the corner. I didn't plan on running here, and then right before school started, I emailed Coach Eric Guda. I sort of have been running this summer, and I've always been a runner. What if I joined the team? And he was so excited about it, and he was just very welcoming about it. So the fact that I came into the school with 17 other people that were runners and I had something to relate with, that was awesome. Since we're all D3 athletes, school comes first, athletes come second, but at the same time, we're playing that role 24/7, and it's really helpful that I don't just have this cross-country family, I have all the athletes here on campus that I know I can relate to in some way. There's so many opportunities here that help you push you in the right direction, and there's always someone to help you along the way and support you and be your friend and also be your professor and also be your coach and be your mentor. And there's just so many different roles that you can connect one-on-one with everyone.
Welcome to the cultural season at Elmhurst College. Elmhurst is a place of values and conviction. We were founded by 19th century reformers who believed in human potential, loved learning, and had standards. More than 140 years later, we still do. We still attract students and teachers who want to think for themselves and act on principles, who challenge and respect one another, who engage, serve, and celebrate our diverse, dynamic, interdependent world. A few years ago, to be clear about things, we wrote down our core values. This year, we asked some of our students what those values mean to them.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is
pretty important because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages like creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
There are all these people and they're all more important than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were so engaged in service and so willing to help.
Kind of made me reflect on, what do I value in life? Why am I here? They really did kind of push me to the next level and make me think about that, and I think that I'm a better person for it.
Values really help shape identity. If you really don't understand your values, you're not really understanding a part of who you are.
I was more sheltered until I came here, and Elmhurst has really kind of made me step out of my comfort zone and learn more about what I want to do and what I believe in.
Places like the chaplain's office and the Niebuhr Center for Faith and Action give me safe places where I can go to discuss my faith and to discuss my values with people that I know I trust and people that I know I can count on to influence me and to lead me in the right direction.
You can never be forced out of your faith or forced into a different kind of faith as long as you're at Elmhurst, that you really are given the ability to take your pick and always have encouragement from your peers, never shunned or excluded or pressured into something else. There's always a place for you.
If you believe you're here on this earth for a reason, that's going to affect the way you live your life. That's going to affect the way you treat your academics, the way you treat your social life, the way you look at your future and the goals that you have. Those things seem like really big things, but all of that boils down to the way you live your everyday life.
We value
intellectual excellence, community,
social responsibility,
stewardship,
faith, meaning, and values.
Education is kind of in my family. My dad's a principal, and so I've seen that lifestyle, and I wanted to further education of students, and I really enjoy kids. And so that being said, I wanted to be a teacher and then coach as well. The elementary education program is very rigorous. You get out in the field, you have field experience starting your sophomore year. So your sophomore through senior year, you're always in the field learning. I think that's just a huge advantage here at Elmhurst College to have you out in the field early, just because you have such almost like a leg up on everyone else that is going into that major as well, just because you're out there, and it takes 3 or 4 years to realize what the system of a school is. We're in schools all the time as students, but not necessarily as teachers, so it's a different point of view to see the whole school atmosphere. The professors, they're really great. They always email you right back, even in the evenings if you have questions on assignments and papers. The ratio in the class is there's 12 or 13 students per professor in a class period in the elementary education program. And so with that being said, you're not a number, you're a name. And that's something that I really, really like, and it definitely prepares you. They always push you in the classroom, they always push you on the court, off the court. Our coaches push us to do other things besides sports and our major, to get out in the community. And with all that being said, it's kind of a resume builder, and so that's how it pushes us to become more prepared for the real world. Our basketball team actually has weekly meetings in the fall with the Center for Professional Excellence, so they help us build resumes and help us, get our name out to people and businesses for internships and jobs and all that. But I know that when the time comes, I feel like I'm going to be prepared just through the education that Elmhurst has provided and the skills that I've learned as well through sports and our studies.
And welcome back to Langhorst Field, halftime, as the Comets leading here at the break by a score of 19-7. Third quarter action will get underway here in just a moment. Go over to recap the scoring summary in the first half. A couple of first quarter field goals by Douglas Pollard. He had a 37-yard field goal and a 25-yard field goal. It was 6-0 Comets at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter action, 12:29 left to go in the quarter. Lane Porter hit Jacob Jodway for a 45-yard touchdown pass. Pollard's extra point was good. That made it 13-0. And then with 8:02 left, Porter hit Cornelius Saxton for a 39-yard touchdown pass. Pollard's kick failed, and so the score was 19-0. But at the end of the second quarter, with just 23 seconds left, Orlando Hernandez with a 1-yard touchdown run. And Blake Bailey's extra point was good, and that made it 19-7. And that's where we're at here as we get ready for third quarter action. Again, the Comets won the toss, elected to defer, so they will get the ball. Elmhurst will be kicking with the wind here in this third quarter. As we start the second half, Porter, by the way, was 4 of 8 in the first half passing for 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have 1 interception. Orlando Hernandez was 6 of 13 for 65 yards. He had 2 picks, and he was sacked twice. Jerome Washington was the offensive man for the Comets. He rushed 11 times for 53 yards. His longest of the first half was 16 yards. So here come the Comets. Monroe.
Banak on the return.
Or check that, that's Banak. Bringing it back, Brandon Banak brings it back for the Comets to the 26-yard line. And it will be 1st and 10. First opening possession, actually they spotted due at the 27-yard line. Olivet, 155 total yards of offense in the first half. Elmhurst with only 105. Comets were 1 of 5 on third down conversions in the first half. Elmhurst 3 of 9. 19-7 Comets. Here we go. First play from scrimmage is a handoff to Washington. Jerome will get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. Gang tackled there by a host of Blue Jay defenders. Forward progress brings it to the 28, so he's going to pick up a yard. 2nd down and 9 for the Comets.
1-yard gain on that play.
Olivet, a 40-24 loss last week to Heidelberg University. The Blue Jays, a 41-9 loss to Loras College here at Langhorst Field. Porter's going to throw. He's got his man Cornelius Saxton. Saxton with a touchdown catch in that first half brings it to the 35-yard line. He's going to be a couple yards short of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. Little down and out route. Comets need to get to the 37-yard line to pick up the first. Opening moment of the third quarter. 4 15-minute quarters played here at the college level. Handing it off to Washington. He's not going to get there. Oh, my. It's going to lose a couple. Joe Nixon was in the bottom along with Victor Agabor. So it's going to bring up 4th down now and 2 Decision time for the Comets and the punting unit coming on. So the Blue Jay defense
Lost the one on the play, fourth down.
with a nice
Comets.
stand. Jawan Gaines is
Jawan
back,
Gaines back
standing at his own 24-yard line.
Gunnar Aper to kick it away for Olivet.
Gunnar Aper, a senior out of Cedar Springs, Michigan, will punt it away. Line drive punt, nothing that Gaines could do with. And it's going to stop at the 36-yard line.
Aper's punt down on the far side.
So a nice
Elmhurst
3 and out.
to start first
Good
and 10
defensive
at their
stance by the Blue
37-yard
Jays.
line.
First offensive possession of the third quarter for the Blue Jays. We'll see if that nice drive to end the second quarter, if that momentum can continue on here early in the third. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com. We thank you so much for logging on. Mark Kruger along with Glenn Liljeberg and Phil Petrosic. First and 10, Blue Jays from their own 37-yard line. Hernandez working out of the shotgun. Showing blitz, the Comets, and he's going to sprint here to the near side to get out of it. Good job as he cuts it up, and he'll get tackled near the 49-yard line, tackled on the play by number 95, Matt Hall, sophomore defensive lineman. Good job by Hernandez. The pressure came up the middle. He sprinted out here to the near side and
First down on that carry.
took
for
a pretty
the Blue
good
Jays.
hit, but nevertheless, he picks up the first down to the 48. So a good job of running there by Hernandez. Orlando ran the ball 3 times in the first half for 10 yards. 3 wide receivers to the top here now. First and 10, Blue Jays for their own 48. The screen to Gaines. Gaines trying to get to the edge, and he's going to be very, very close to the first down. And according to the spot, it will be a first down at the 42-yard line. Here's another look. You see Gaines out in the flat, and after that, he just used his speed. And he just outran Matthew Hall. Knew where the first down marker was. First and 10 Blue Jays from the 42 of the Comets. 3 minutes gone by here in the third. Blue Jays looking good offensively, trailing 19-7 here in the third quarter. Hernandez is going to keep it, fakes to Holloway, straight up the middle. He'll get to the 39.
That's first by Cornish.
Pickup of 3. Cornish was there to make the stop. Second and 7.
Gain of 3 on the play.
$11-12 to go here in the third quarter. Second down and 7, Blue Jays. From the 39, Hernandez looks. Austin with the reception as he dives forward to the 34-yard line. Tackled on the play by John Adams III. Only a freshman is Adams. Gain
of 5 on the play.
of 5. It's going to bring up third down and 2. Blue Jays need to get to the 32-yard line to pick up the first. McKellar and Mamasher are split out to the top of your screen. Showing blitz do the Comets. Holloway gets the handoff. He goes up the middle, and he will pick up the first down to the 29-yard line, a pickup of 5, and the Blue Jays are marching. Much like they did towards the end of the second quarter when they picked up their first touchdown.
Along with
Good drive going here to start the third quarter. First and 10. Brockman the slot to the left. 2 wide receivers to the top. First and 10. Hernandez throws. He's got his man. This is going to be a first down. Inside the 14, tackled by Jaquan Short. It's Jacob Mamashur with the reception, but there is a penalty marker down.
Short was there with the tackle for Olivet.
See the tackle there by Short.
That's a play. That's sportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 9. That's a different goal.
Ooh, Robert Cuba with an unsportsmanlike conduct call. So they'll tack on more yards. It'll be half the distance. They're going to spot it at the 7. Or is it the 6? Looks like just outside the 6-yard line.
Blue Jays are first and goal from the 6.
All right, first and goal for the Blue Jays. After the penalty of the Comets. 9:38 to go here in the third. Critical drive here. Motion man. Hernandez handing the ball off to Holloway. Holloway looking for some blocks. Cuts it in. And he's tackled near the goal line. It is a touchdown. 6 and a flag coming in. A flag coming in late after the touchdown by Ben Holloway. Take another look at it here. The handoff to Ben. He had some blocking. Gets tackled right on the goal line by Chase Kavrick, but the officials say he was in. And we'll see what the penalty flag is all about. Coach Plan's wanting an explanation.
Number 21. That penalty on the tip-off.
That's Hassan Austin, the freshman. Unsportsmanlike conduct call against him. That will be assessed on the kickoff. So Blake Bailey will come in, looking to go 2 for 2 in the extra point category here this afternoon. Good snap and the hold, and that one is good by Bailey. And so that makes it 19-14. A couple of unanswered touchdowns, one late in the second quarter, and another one by the Blue Jays, their first opening drive of the third quarter, and they're on their feet here at Langhorst Field. So the Blue Jays are within 5. 19-14. Look at the CCIW preseason rankings. The Blue Jays are picked to finish 5th in the CCIW in the preseason coaches poll. The 2 favorites, Wheaton College and North Central College. The Cardinals are the defending CCIW champions. Carthage finished 2nd, Illinois Wesleyan 3rd, Augustana 4th.
Blake Bailey to kick it away for the Blue Jays from the 20.
So Blake Bailey to kick it away from the 20-yard line for the Blue Jays.
Line drive kick.
Banak from the 20-yard line across the 40, and he'll get held up at the 42-yard line. 22 yards on the return, and so that's where Lane Porter and the Comets offense will take over. You see the nice return by Banak.
Comets to start first and 10 at their 42-yard line.
Again, last year, Banak averaged over 20 yards on the return. This one a 22-yard return. So out comes Lane Porter and the Comets offense, leading by 5. 9:14 to play here in the third. First and 10 for Porter from their own 42-yard line. Pass to the far side is
Porter's pass
complete.
complete on the far side.
It's number
Caught
17.
by Houston.
Andre Houston, a 5'9 junior out of Bay City, Michigan, coming up with the reception.
5 on the play.
A gain of 5 to the 47. Comets need to get to the 48 of the Blue Jays to pick up the first down. Just a gorgeous afternoon here. Langhorst Field is the site for this Week 2 matchup. Handoff Washington, and he dives across the first down marker. He will pick up the first down. Tyler Hossman was there to make the tackle. Take another look at it.
A little there on the stop for the Blue Jays.
Well, Jamari Wise is not out there. Remember, he was injured in the first half, and he is not out there in that secondary, so the day may be through for Jamari Wise, the starting safety. Lane Porter out of the gun. First and 10 for the Blue Jay 47. Trying to answer the Blue Jay touchdown. The handoff is to Washington. And on forward progress, they'll bring him to the 45. Pickup of a couple. It was Hossman again with the tackle. Take another look at it here. Off of left tackle there, Jacob Stuller, the center, looking to get the block.
Gain of 2 on the play.
So after the 2-yard gain by Washington, it is now second down and 8. Comets lead by 5, just about halfway through this third quarter. Porter rolls out here looking for a man, and that one incomplete. Tom White wanted to have that one back. Tristan Bolus was there on the coverage, but through the hands of the senior wide receiver, Tom White. Take another look at it here. It's probably one that White would want back. I think he was looking to look upfield before he watched that one into his hands. So a break for the Blue Jays, and now it's 3rd and 8. Blue Jays showing blitz. Linebackers up on the line of scrimmage. See if they pressure Porter. Porter lets it go, intended for Saxton, and it's incomplete. Overthrown. His right arm, he got his fingertips on it apparently. Another look at it here. Good coverage. And overthrown, and so now the punting unit coming in. Jawan Gaines is back for the Blue Jays. 7:21 left in the third. Let's see if Jawan can return one here. Give the Blue Jays the lead.
Into punt for Olivet.
Gunnar Aper to punt.
Jawan Gaines back deep for the Blue Jays.
Gaines back at his own 10. Aper with a decent punt. Gaines on one bounce is not going to get it, and it goes into the end zone. It will be a touchback. 7:13 left to play in the third quarter. Blue Jays now chance to take the lead with a touchdown, trailing by 5.
Blue Jays to start first and 10 at their 20-yard line.
So it'll be first and 10 Blue Jays from their own 20-yard line. The Comets of Olivet College. Olivet, about 30 miles southwest of Lansing, Michigan. 7:13 left to play. They put Brockman in motion here. Hernandez is going to look to throw across the middle, and that's incomplete. Mamashore was well covered on that play.
Intended for Mamashore.
Second down and 10. Still a pretty decent wind, I would say, in between 7 and 10 miles an hour to the back of the Blue Jays. So they will have that going for them here in the rest of this third quarter. And we'll see if Hernandez can take advantage of that. Him and his offensive unit face a second down and 10 here. Hernandez directing traffic, and they're going to burn a timeout here.
Timeout taken by the Blue Jays.
Hernandez was directing traffic late in the play call, and the Blue Jays, instead of being out of sync and running not a good play, they decide to burn a timeout here. So they've got 2 left.
And then the Elmhurst College Blue Jays are
Mentioned
back
Coach
for
Plans,
2 more
the head
September
coach,
home
now in
games,
his
September
4th season
23rd.
as the head coach of the Blue Jays. He is the
homecoming
19th head football coach in Elmhurst College history. His first year was in 2014. The Blue Jays finished 5-5 that season. The same record as last year. The Blue Jays posted a 5-5 overall record, finished 5th in the CCIW. Coach Plans bringing in a bunch of assistant coaches this year, including Jack Nudo, Jackson Smith, Mike Morrison, Eli Kasanovich, Stephen McKinney, and Jordan Huxtable. So he's getting his staff to his liking and his personnel. And he's hoping his Blue Jays can come from behind and pull off the victory here at Langhorst Field. So after the timeout here, they've got 3 wide receivers to the lower right-hand part of your screen. 2nd down, 10 after the Blue Jay timeout. Hernandez goes deep. Oh, he was looking for McKellar, and it's deflected and picked off.
Olivet.
Jaquan Short, it was deflected, and he's going to come away with the interception. So Jaquan Short, inserted into the starting lineup because of a season-ending injury to Colton Swiss, he comes away with the pick. Great effort there by the junior corner to come away with the interception. Big defensive play by the Comets. 3rd pick of the afternoon for Hernandez. And so now the Blue Jay defense is going to have to dig in once again. Boy, 7 minutes remaining here in the 3rd. Lane Porter has done a nice job at quarterback for these Comets. Setting up the screen to Saxton on the far side, and a nice run after the catch. They're going to spot it at the 49 of the Blue Jays, a gain of 11 and a 1st down. Another look at it here. Nice job by Saxton of running. Well, he actually ran for 11 yards. He caught the ball right at the line of scrimmage. Did a nice job after the catch to pick up the 1st. Movement on the defensive side, and there is the flag. Pretty much a free play here. Pass caught by Andre Houston. He'll pick up 3 yards on the reception, but it should be offsides against the Blue Jays. We'll see. See the flag there throwing by the line judge, Tim Lucas.
Wow.
Apparently there was a flag thrown here on the near side. There's a flag thrown on the far side. So 2 different penalties. Didn't quite hear what the official said over the PA system, but it's going against Elmhurst.
1st down.
All the way now to the 31-yard line after the penalty walk-off. Oh, that was big. A big, big penalty. 2 different penalties apparently against the Blue Jays. 1st and 10 from the Elmhurst 31. That pass is incomplete, intended for Saxton, and now another flag coming late.
Flag on the play.
Blue Jays, the defensive secondary, they can't believe what this. Here, let's take another look at it here. Porter, intended receiver, pretty good defensive play. Boy, I didn't see much of anything there. Pass interference. I can't see that. It was an incomplete. Here's another look at it here. See if there's any type of bump or any type of contact by the. That's just a great coverage. I didn't see that there. Boy. So apparently some type of pass interference against the Blue Jays, and that brings it down to the 26. First down. Only a 5-yard penalty. He did say pass interference, so it's just a 5-yard penalty. The ball is at the 26. 1st and 10 after all that. Hand off to Washington, straight up the middle. Boy, Jerome Washington, does he not remind you of another Jerome Bettis, formerly of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the way he powers straight ahead. What a nice run by Jerome Washington. Power football here by the Comets. Wow, all the way down to the 11. So the Comets can still pick up a first down. They can pick it up at the 1-yard line from the 11. Washington again as he just lowers his helmet straight ahead for about 3. Down to the 8. 5:34 remaining. Can the Comets capitalize on the Jaquan Short interception?
Gain of 4 on the play.
All the way down to the 8, 2nd and 6. Porter under center, the lone back, Jerome Washington. Wide receiver to either side here. As out of the I, it's Washington.
Washington, the ball carrier.
Get down to about the 5. Big play call here for the Comets as we are under the 5-minute mark of the 3rd. The Blue Jay crowd trying to ignite the Blue Jay defense. 3rd down for the Comets. 4 yards to go. Ball is at the 5. Big play here. Saxton is the motion man. They hand it off to him. He tries to get to the edge, and he'll get tackled close to the 4, short of the first down. And what do you do here now if you're the Comets? And just playing the numbers game with a 5-point lead. Obviously a field goal here, and it still would just be a 1-possession game. And they are bringing in Douglas Pollard. Pollard, who has a 37-yard field goal and a 25-yard field goal already in the game. This would be a 21-yard field goal attempt, so obviously within the range of Pollard. Thomas White on the hole, it's blocked. It looked like it was Victor Ogumore with the blocked field goal attempt. Great job by Victor to make a big play. So the Blue Jay defense, special teams, there's a good look at Victor. Another look at it here. Great effort coming off the edge on the left side there. So now the Blue Jays back on offense, still trailing by 5.
Elmhurst to start 1st and 10 at their 10-yard line.
1st and 10, Blue Jays from their own 10. Again, 4:12 to go, and the wind to the back of the Blue Jays. Let's see if they can take advantage here. 1st and 10 from their own 10. Trailing by 5. Hernandez working out of the gun is going to keep it. Oh, he got hit hard. As he picked up about 3. 2nd down coming. We're under the 4-minute mark here in the 3rd.
Grounds with the tackle.
Another look.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Officially a 2-yard pickup to the 12. So that makes it second down, 8 yards to go. Well, I'd like to see them hit Matt Brockman, the tight end. Second down, 8. Hernandez rolls out to his left. He's going to keep it. Looking for some blocking. Spins around at the 18-yard line. He'll pick up about 5. There is a flag down.
Love on the tackle along with Mills.
Penalty against the Blue Jays, says referee Mike Cunningham. Legal block will push it back. Back to the 9. 3:20 to go here in the third. So it's still second down. For the Blue Jays, second down and 11. Screen to Holloway, and Holloway hit immediately by Walter Love the third, and now a flag coming down after the play. This one will be a personal foul.
Number 1 or number 91 of the offense. And the defense, 15-yard penalty.
Well, it looks like that's against Mo Young, number 1, a personal foul after the play. So that'll give the Blue Jays a first down here. All the way out to the 25.
First down on that penalty for the Blue Jays.
Thank you, Comets. So the Comets with the personal foul, giving the Blue Jays a new set of downs here. First and 10 Jays from their own 25. 2 wide receivers to the top. Holloway flanked to the right of Hernandez. Orlando working out of the gun is going to hand it off to Holloway.
Holloway, the ball carrier.
To the 26, Chase Kavrick, junior linebacker, made the tackle, pickup of a couple. Second down and call it 8.
Gain of 2 on the play.
The Blue Jays looking for a come-from-behind win here today. Boy, they trailed 19-0 in this one. Second down and call it a long 8 for Elmhurst here. Under 2 minutes now in the third. Gaines, he's going to throw, and instead he's going to try to run and create something. Knocked out of bounds at the 34 by John Adams.
Knocked out of bounds near side by Adams. Penalty flag on the play.
So the Blue Jays looking for a little trickery here. They passed it to Gaines. It was a lateral, so he was able to throw it. Nobody was home. He decides to run. The penalty is going to be against the Comets, and I believe the Blue Jays will, well, are they going to take it or decline it? So it is a first down. Holding call against the Comets. So a couple of penalties here on this drive, and the Blue Jays now find themselves first and 10 from their own 36. Elmhurst with just 2 timeouts left. Maybe they had to burn one a couple of moments ago. First and 10 from their own 36. Minute and a half left here in the third. Hernandez goes under center. Holloway is the lone back. Pitch to Holloway out of the eye. He's got room. Now it's closed down quickly by Kavrick. And now a bunch of other Comets come on to surround and bring down Holloway as he crosses the 40 to the 42. He'll pick up 6, second down and 4.
And a 6 on the play.
Don't forget, in the fourth quarter, the Blue Jays will go against this wind. Comet will have the wind to their backs in the fourth quarter. Something to keep in mind. Second down and 4 for the Blue Jays. 40 seconds to go here in the third. Hernandez is going to throw. Now pressure collapses and he gets sacked by Robert Kuba. Robert Kuba, 6'2", 290. Gets credit for the sack. Boy, that brings the Blue Jays all the way back to the 34. So it's going to be they need to pick up 12. Need to get to the 46 to pick up the first. Third down, and I don't think the Blue Jays will run another play. They will not. 3 quarters in the books here at Elmhurst Field.
Your score, Olivet College 19.
They'll switch sides as the Blue Jays find themselves trailing by 5. 19-14. Final 15 minutes of this one about to get underway. The Blue Jays will be moving left to right now. Big sack by Robert Kuba. Speaking of Cuba, of course, the great weather here this afternoon here in Illinois, and of course, all of our wishes and thoughts with our friends down there in the Sunshine State as Hurricane Irma ready to hit the Sunshine State apparently tomorrow morning. I think all of us have either friends or family down there, and of course, our friends down in Texas and Louisiana with Harvey and the wildfires out in California, earthquake in Mexico. Boy, Mother Nature has not been good to us, but hopefully everyone will be safe as Hurricane Irma about ready to hit tomorrow morning. Jerome Washington through 3 quarters, 18 carries, 83 yards. For the Comets. Third down and 12. Hernandez has nothing. He's going to have to run well short
Hernandez, the ball
to the
carrier.
37. It's going to be
Cornish
fourth
with the
down.
tackle.
Raphael Cornish with the tackle. He's right around the original line of scrimmage, and so the Blue Jays will have to punt.
Punting unit on the field for the Blue Jays.
Bryce Johnson is back deep. He'll await the punt of Matteo Casanova.
Johnson back deep for the Comets.
Hernandez, by the way, through 3 quarters, 13 carries, 65 yards. Hernandez is 10 of 19 through the air for 96 yards, but he does have the 3 interceptions through 3 quarters. That punt will rest at the 27-yard line. Opening moments of this fourth quarter. So the Blue Jay defense playing awful well here in the second half will get asked to stop once again the Comets. 9th meeting of this rivalry between the Comets and the Blue Jays. Blue Jays hold the overall advantage, 7 victories to 1. The lone victory for the Comets came last year in Michigan. Porter, 1st and 10, play action for the 27, going deep, Saxton, and he cannot come up with it. Tristan Bolus was there on the coverage.
Intended for Saxton.
2nd and 10. Like the play call, but there is a flag down. penalty against the Blue Jays. The penalty was roughing the passer against the Blue Jays. Oh boy, another personal foul brings the Comets the ball up to the 42, but more importantly, it gives the Comets a new set of downs.
At their 42-yard line.
1st and 10 Comets from their own 42. Boy, can't make those type of mistakes. Instead of 2nd and 10, it is now 1st and 10 after the penalty. Porter looking. Pressure now, he steps out of it, throws, pass complete to Saxton, and he gets covered up immediately by Bolus right around midfield, about 2 yards short of the first down marker. 2nd down and 2. Boy, nice job by Porter under pressure, rolling out, getting out of pressure, and finding Saxton, who did a nice job of coming back to the football. 2nd down and 2 yards to go. Ball right at midfield. Can the Blue Jays come up with a big defensive play again? 2nd and a couple. Washington,
the ball carrier,
on a second effort, will dive and I believe pick up the first down. It's right at the 48. That's where they had to go, and judging on the spot, it looks like they have it. They're not moving the chains yet. Now they're getting the signal. Let's go, guys. Move on down. Let's get this thing going here. 1st and 10 from the Blue Jay 48. 2 minutes have gone by here in this final quarter. We got a good finish here this afternoon. We thank you so much for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. Saxton here out in the flat to the near side, to the far side of the field. And he gets shoved out of bounds by Burciaga at the 41. 7 yards on that catch. 2nd down 3 for the Comets. The Comets held scoreless in that 3rd quarter. Putting together a pretty decent drive here. 2nd down and 3. Play action. Saxton is wide open. He will have a first down. And he's shoved out of bounds by Bolus at the 32. It will be 1st and 10 here for the Comets. Boy, another look at it here. And Saxton was wide open. Bolus gave him quite a cushion. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 32. Porter with the wind to his back. 1st and 10. It's Washington, the ball carrier.
With the ball
as he gets inside the 30, down at the 29. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. $11:40 remaining in this one.
3 on that play.
2nd and 7 from the Blue Jay 29. Comets driving, leading by 5. Play action. Porter has time. Now gets flushed out here to the near side. And pressure from behind as he throws it as he got hit by Romaine Richards.
Chased down by Richards.
Good job by Richards. Boy, he had a long ways to run, and he did a good job of catching up to Porter. And Lane just had to throw the ball away. Richards, as we mentioned earlier, with a good game last week with 11 tackles, applying the pressure from behind. 3rd and 7. Blue Jay crowd starting to get into it here. 3 wide receivers to the bottom. Motion man here. 3rd and 7 flag
Penalty flag on the
as
play.
Washington
Pass is
gets the
complete
screen
to
pass. He gets
Washington.
tackled near the 30. Tackle by Victor Ogabor. We'll see what the flag is all about, though.
Offside.
It's going to be offsides against Elmhurst.
Offsides penalty against Elmhurst. Still third down.
Still going to be third down, but instead of 3rd and 7, it's going to be 3rd and 2 at the 24. Big play in this game. 11 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. Comets facing a 3rd down and 2. Can the Blue Jays hold? Porter handing it off. It's Washington. He breaks a couple of tackles, dives forward, and he will have a first down.
For Olivet.
He gets to the 20. He picks up 4. Needed 2, got 4. 1st and 10. They're moving the chains. So they're in the red zone here now. Boy, the Blue Jays cannot afford to give up a touchdown. I think they'll be sufficient with giving up a field goal attempt. 1st and 10, Comets from the 20. And there's movement on the defensive line. Here come the flags. And
Martin, the ball carrier.
Jamel Martin carried the ball, but penalty markers down.
Offside. Defense number 44. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Offsides. Ross Beck is called for the offsides, but there are about 3 or 4 Blue Jays that seem to jump. So 1st and 5 now from the 15. Penalties hurting the Blue Jays again this week. Martin, the ball carrier, as he'll dive to the 10-yard line. Should be enough for a first down. It will be 1st and goal.
With the tackle. Short of the first down.
Burciaga. Oh, they're spotting it back at the 11. I thought the initial spot was right at the 10, but they bring it back to the 11. So it is 2nd and 1 yard to go to pick up the first. Boy, Blue Jays, see if they can strip one here, cause a fumble. 2nd and 1 for the Comets. Well, a pretty good contact. There is another penalty marker down. Washington very close to the first down, right at about the 10. And this will be against the Comets, a holding. Just what the doctor ordered here, bring the Comets back 10. This will bring them all the way back to the 21. So they're outside the red zone now at the 21 as we approach the 9-minute mark of this 4th quarter. 2nd and 11. Again, the Comets, they need to get down to the 10 to pick up the first. Porter now working out of the gun. Fake to Washington. Porter steps up, and he'll get tackled just inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Good job by the Blue Jay D. It's going to bring up 3rd and long. 3rd and 9. And the Blue Jay defense encouraging the crowd to make some noise. They know that this is a huge play at the 19-yard line, and the Comets realize how big this play is, and they burn a timeout. First timeout of the half, so both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. The Comets will be facing a 3rd down and 9 situation here after this timeout. Give a lot of credit to this Blue Jay defense. They have played awful well especially here in the second half. Can they come up with another big stop? The Elmhurst sideline encouraging the crowd, and the crowd responding nicely. Good turnout on hand here at Langhorse Field, as there always is. Just a beautiful, beautiful facility to watch college football. Here we go, friends. Big play in this game. 3rd down and 9 from the 19. Porter out of the gun, handing it off straight ahead to Washington. Oh my, he's going to go in virtually untouched. Can you believe that? 19-yard touchdown run by Jerome Washington. And now the Comets are up 2 scores. 25-14, waiting the extra point. Boy, oh boy. Virtually untouched was Washington. Obviously, the Blue Jays were in pass coverage, and Washington scampers in for the 19-yard touchdown run. And now it's Douglas Pollard, number 86, in for the extra point attempt. And the extra point by Pollard is good. And it is now a 12-point advantage. Olivet leads 26-14. Well, take another look at it here. The run by Washington, and right there at the 15, nobody in front of him. And he scampers in for the touchdown. 19 yards. Extra point by Pollard makes it 26-14. Obviously, still plenty of time left, 8:17 to go, but the Blue Jays trailing by 2 scores here. Gaines is the deep man here. Pretty good drive put together there by Olivet after getting shut out in that 3rd quarter. They come back with a touchdown here with 8:17 left. Again, to make it a 2-score differential, 26-14. With the wind here, the Comets kicking off. And this one will go into the end zone. No chance for Gaines to return that one.
Over the end line with that kickoff.
So the Blue Jays will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. Again, going against the wind here. 8:17 remaining. Each team looking for their first victory of the season. Again, last year, Olivet winning for the first time in the series history, winning 27-13. Almost identical score here now of 26-14. Blue Jays start this drive, handing it off to Holloway. Nice run as Holloway takes it to the 34-yard line. Pickup of 9. So on 2nd down and 1, the Blue Jays will have plenty of options here.
Gain of 9 on the play.
Boy, I'd like to see a little play action here. Maybe the Blue Jays will go deep. Split out here to the bottom is Jacob Mamashur. 2nd and a yard to go here for Hernandez and the Blue Jays. Brockman, the motion man, the tight end. They're going to hand the ball. No, they're going to fake it and throw. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
The line of scrimmage by Pembroke.
it looked like it was Matthew Hall, number 95, that may have gotten a hand on that one and knocked it down. 3rd down in the yard for the Blue Jays. 7:29 left. Boy, that clock is just winding down too fast here. The Blue Jays still with 2 timeouts left, trailing by 12. First things first, they need to pick up a 1st down here. 3rd down in the yard. Again, Brockman is the motion man here to the near side. Hernandez rolling this way, throws. He's got Brockman for the 1st down. Steps out of bounds at the 42-yard line, a pickup of 8. 1st and 10 Blue Jays. Boy, they run that play beautifully. I'd like to see them run that a few more times. 1st and 10 from their own 42 as we approach the 7-minute mark of this game. Hernandez, here comes the pressure up the middle. Pressure from behind. Hernandez is going to run. He's across midfield, and he's got the 1st down to the 46 of the Comets. 12-yard run by Hernandez, and they'll move the chains. The clock will stop. Well, now it's running 6:49 as they move the chains.
For the Comets on the tackle.
First and 10 Blue Jays from the Comets 47. Amashore to the bottom of your screen. Again, it's Brockman. He's the motion man. It's Hernandez. He's looking for Brockman. And that one is deflected and caught by Brockman. It was deflected by Jaquan Short. And Brockman is into the end zone for a touchdown. 47 yards for the touchdown. Well, Brockman, he had the height advantage over Jaquan Short. Short just 5'8". Brockman is 6'2". You'll see it here. Short deflected and he tipped it. Great concentration by Matt to catch the deflected ball, and he takes it in 47 yards for the score. Huge play for the Blue Jays. Blake Bailey in for the extra point attempt.
Blake Bailey
right now, the Blue Jays trail by 6. Bailey's extra point is blocked, and it's covered up. So now, after the failed extra point, it's a 6-point differential. 26-20. Take another look. Good surge up the middle, and the block by the Comets. So the score is 26-20 in favor of the Comets. So the Blue Jays still need a touchdown to tie it. And then, of course, obviously with the extra point to win it. But they need to get the ball back. 6:13 remaining. Great ball game here in Elmhurst. We thank you for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. Certainly, we've got a dandy one here today. Deep man for the Comets, Brandon Banak. 6:13 left. Awaiting the kick of Blake Bailey.
Blake Bailey getting ready to kick it away for the Blue Jays.
And that's a low line drive kick.
Martin on the return.
Martin on the return. Across the 25, 30, and tackled near the 35-yard line. So good field position here for the Comets. 6:06 remaining. 2 timeouts left. As a matter of fact, both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. So the Blue Jays, after trailing in this game 19-0, have battled back, find themselves trailing by just 6. 26-20. Lane Porter has gone the distance at quarterback here for the Comets. Works out of the gun. Washington, maybe a couple.
Short gain on the play.
Joe Nixon was there initially
Dominski there for the Blue Jays.
to make the stop. Brandon Dominski, number 8, came in at the tail end of that.
Gain of 2 on the play.
2-yard pickup to the 38. Brings up 2nd and 8. Washington now over the 100-yard rushing mark. 24 carries, 100-plus yards. 2nd down and 8 for Porter and the Comets. Porter's going to throw. Off balance, pass is complete to Saxton, right at the first down marker at the 46. Spotted at the 47, so it will be a first down. And the clock now is winding down towards the 5-minute mark. Blue Jays with, again, 2 timeouts left. Desperately needing to get the ball back. Of course, the Comets would like to get a couple more timeouts and run off the final 5 minutes of this game. Porter out under center, 1st and 10 from their own 47. Washington. Boy, he has been the workhorse, but he will not get anything on that play. Maybe a loss of a yard. It was Nixon in there, Dominski as well. Now they're going to spot it right back at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd down and 10.
Bar there first for the Blue Jays.
4:25 left. Comets taking their time here. 2nd down and 10. Washington, the dot in the I here for the Comets as we come up on the 4-minute mark. Porter will hand the ball off. Washington straight up the middle to midfield. He'll pick up 3. 3rd down and 6. Again, the crowd starting to get into it. Take another look. Conservative play calling by the Comets. They want to stay in the middle of the field, keep the clock running, and keep picking up first downs. However, they face a 3rd and 6 here. Call it 3rd and 7. They need to get to the Blue Jays' 43-yard line. Boy, clock already down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Porter, 3rd down and 7. He's got his receiver, and it's a first down. Inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Pass caught by Andre Houston. They spotted at the 38-yard line of Elmhurst, and a first down. That is a huge play in this game. Pressure from the blind side, but Houston with the reception, tackle by Ogabor. And now we are under 3 minutes to go in this game. Again, the Blue Jays with 2 timeouts left. Boy, that was a big play. 1st and 10 from the Blue Jay 38. Play clock down to 4. 3, 2, 1. They do just get it off. Washington, and he'll dive close to the 35. Coming up, Angel Burciaga. The safety came up. He spotted just outside, right at the 35, actually.
3 on the play.
3 yards on the pickup, so 2nd and 7. And the game clock will be right about 2 minutes when they run this play. Play clock is now down to 7. 2nd and 7. Play clock at 2, and they get it off to Washington. Maybe a yard. That'll about do it. John Rubino, number 92, was there to make the tackle, and the Blue Jays call the timeout. Second timeout for the Blue Jays. They'll have one more remaining. Clock stops with 1:55 left to play. For Olivet, next week, they'll be hosting the Spartans of Aurora University before they have an idle week, and then they'll be at home against Hope as they would open up MIAA action against Hope. That's on September 30th. The Blue Jays will open up CCIW action 1 week from today, September 16th at North Park, to take on the Vikings. 1 o'clock kickoff next Saturday in Chicago, week number 3. And so now the defensive unit coming back out onto the field. 3rd down and 7. Another huge play in this game. The Comets looking to just run this one out, but they need to pick up another first down. Facing a 3rd down and 7. They hand it off to Washington. Washington spins and gets ankle tackled short of the first down.
Tackle short of the first down.
It's going to be spotted at the 32. Blue Jays take their final timeout. So the Comets face now, interesting call here. They spot it at the 33. It's going to be 4th and 5. 1:46 left to go in the game. They need to get to the 28 to pick up a first down. 4th down and 5. Again, they're going with the wind. A punt, well, if you punt the ball into the end zone, brings it out to the 20. That's only a 13-yard pickup. So we'll see what the Comets decide to do here on 4th down and 5. And again, the Blue Jays cannot stop the clock. They have no more timeouts. 4th down and 5. Well, in the past, they've handed the ball. They've been pretty conservative. They've handed the ball off to Jerome Washington, and they are going to go for it here. 3 wide receivers to the bottom. Here's your ball game, folks. 4th and 5. Porter out of the gun. Porter's going to pass. Gets flushed out. Throws. Incomplete. Pass intended for Andre Houston. And now the Blue Jays take over on downs. Blue Jay football. 1:41 to work with. 1st and 10 from their own 33. Blue Jay football, that's the good news. The bad news is they don't have any timeouts left, so they're going to have to work this pretty wisely. They're going to have to work the edges here. Orlando Hernandez and this Blue Jay offense trying to put together a game-winning drive here. 1:41 left. From the 33, Hernandez pump fake, steps up and he gets sacked. Mo Young will get credit for the sack. And a hurry-up offense. Ball is spotted back at the 28, so a 5-yard loss on that sack by Young. Brings up a 2nd down and 15. Hernandez, they set up the screen, trying to get, well, Holloway stays inbounds. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage for a pickup of 5, but the clock continuing to run now as we approach the 1-minute mark. Hurry up offense. 3rd down and call it 9 for the Blue Jays. Hernandez looks, steps up, looks, throws, and it's incomplete.
Incomplete, far side.
4th down. Intended receiver, Hassan Austin. And so here's your ball game. The Blue Jays need to convert. They need to get to the 43 to pick up the first down. And forget about where you throw the ball or run the ball, whether or not it's going out of bounds or in the middle of the field. You need to pick up the first down or the game is over. All right, here we go. 4th and 9 for Hernandez and the Blue Jays. Hernandez steps up, fires, pass is complete, just shy of midfield to Austin. So it is a first down for their own 49. So they do pick up the first down, 45 seconds, clock running. Gaines into the game, McKellar was going out, now he's lined up to the near side. A bit of confusion for the Blue Jays, but now they're set. 1st and 10. Hernandez rolling, and he just throws it out of bounds.
Incomplete, out of bounds, near side.
Jacob Mamisher was the closest Blue Jay. And so now it's 2nd down and 10 Blue Jays from their own 49. 26.5 seconds left. The Comets have 2 timeouts left. The Blue Jays with none, unfortunately. 26.5 seconds. What a great finish here in Elmhurst today. Second and 10 for Orlando and the Blue Jays. Straight drop for Hernandez. He lets it fly to the far side. Tapped out and incomplete. Here's another look at it here. Very good coverage, as that was kind of thrown, to be honest, up for grabs. And the Comets decide to call one of their 2 timeouts. So they have 1 remaining here. Special thanks to our crew, Glenn Liljeberg and also Phil Petrosic, and special thanks to the Director of Sports Information here at Elmhurst College, Kevin Jude, for providing, I should say, all the stats and the rosters and all that we needed for our telecast here this afternoon. Kevin does a great job as the Sports Information Director here at Elmhurst. We thank him for his efforts today. 19 and 8/10 seconds left. 3rd down and 10. The Blue Jays need to get to the 41 of the Comets. They got 2 downs to do that. 3rd and 10. Hernandez steps up. Oh, he had room to run, I should say. Instead, he throws it to McKellar, and it's a first down. Hurry up offense at the 32. Clock down to 13 seconds. Hernandez is going to spike the ball, and the clock stops with exactly 11 seconds remaining. They spotted at the 32, actually. So they may have 2 plays left. But let's hope they just have 1 play left. Let's hope this play is a touchdown. 2 wide receivers to either side. Hernandez throws. And that pass is complete, and stepping out of bounds. Nicely done by Jacob Mamisher. Less than 6 seconds to go, 5 and 8/10 seconds. It is another first down. They spot it at the 22. So a 10-yard reception.
First down on that catch for the
A nice route as Jacob went out of bounds right after the catch, and the final timeout taken by the Comets. Wow. So barring any type of penalties, this should be the final play of the game. What a great finish here in Elmhurst. The Comets call a timeout, figuring out what type of defense to play. And you would think they would drop back pretty good. You would think they'd have a couple of guys all the way back in the end zone and let Hernandez throw the ball underneath the coverage. So we'll see what happens. Friends, again, we thank you so much for logging on to Blue Jay football here on BlueJayTV.com. My name is Mark Kruger. I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Here we go, friends. What should be the final play of the game, barring any type of penalties. 3 wide receivers to the top. Here we go. Orlando Hernandez bringing the blitz. Hernandez fires into the end zone, and it's going to be knocked down and incomplete. No time left on the clock, and the Comets come away with a hard-fought road victory as they win it today by a score of 26-20. You see the final play there. The ball was almost picked off, but it simply is an incomplete pass and a tough loss for the Blue Jays to take here at home. Oh my, so 2 home losses to start this 2017 season for the Blue Jays. They are now 0-2. For the Comets, they are now 1-1 after dropping their home opener last week to Heidelberg University. Tough one to take here for the Blue Jays, so they'll try to regroup and win for the first time. They'll have their conference opener next week at North Park, 1 o'clock kickoff on September 16th. Meanwhile, Olivet will be back home taking on Aurora University 1 week from today, 1 o'clock kickoff as well. So that'll do it from Langhorst Field for our crew. Glenn Liljeberg and Phil Petrosic, Mark Kruger saying so long from Elmhurst. The Blue Jays, in dramatic fashion, come up short and fall to the Comets 26-20, your final score. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great afternoon, everybody. So long from Elmhurst.